Nope. It's just, oh, okay. Fail. We failed. We will order one. Hey everybody, thanks for coming back to Freedom One Garage. We got a package. Antenna cable has arrived. So we're going to try to put this back together in some form of working order. I had, if you remember, and I'm going to have to go back and look at it because I had each of these pieces stacked up according to the way they came out of the unit, and then by the time I got done pushing stuff around and whatever else, they unstacked. So we got to deal with that. But yeah, this is the unit we received. Looks to be correct. Let's get it out of the plastic here. It's got the last section of mast, and in here it looks like we've got, oh, we've got 3 different toppers for it. So this is fairly must be somewhat universal, but it does have the correct one for our mast, this hexagonal one here, and then these 2 are kind of cool too, but we're not going to use those. So the first thing we need to do with our old unit is unscrew, yeah, that's the same diameter, unscrew this so we can get this mast out and insert our new mast with the cable attached, because we're broken off down there. So we'll go put this in the vise and get that off here. Okay, the thought is, if you grip this entire length, you don't have to tighten the vise down as much, and your jaws won't dig into the shaft, even though we're not reusing this guy. But it's spinning. Okay. Well, you know, this is the old one, so we really don't have to be too nice to it. There it goes. Must have had a little thread locker on her. Oh no, it's stripped out. Okay, plan B. Plan B was successful. Oops, sorry. There. Back to the bench. Alright. So now that's cut off, we can just slide him all the way down through there. At the other end, this is no good. And we'll take new guy, slide him all the way up through there. We're going to screw this on without any Loctite or anything right now. Okay, so that's your, okay. Now we've got all of this, whoops, with it retracted, we've got all of this cable to deal with. So I'm going to extend it. I'm going to let it lay kind of down the bench here. Oh, still too cluttered, I think. But okay, so that's that. We got a little aggressive with, or we got in a hurry, I guess you would say, getting the motor out of here. Once I decided, hey, I'm just gonna buy another one, before researching what the actual cost is. We popped the motor out and left behind the brushes. So now we've got to, I believe, in order to put the motor back in as an assembly, we're gonna have to pull this brush assembly out so that we can reassemble the brushes on armature and then put it all back in. That'll give us a little bit of help. Let's just do that. We'll actually pull the armature out of the end cap for the motor. There's our magnets inside the end cap. And what we're going to do is, good graphite lead on there, it'll be alright. We'll assemble this outside of the motor maybe, as well as with this brush assembly loose. That part's back in. Back on. It pulled back out. Okay. Yeah. That's what we're going to be dealing with. We just got to have some patience. Like Axl Rose says, patience. Like that. So what happens is there's little teeth on here. I got a poker I can show you with. There's little teeth on this wheel, and there's a spring that kind of holds it up against this main gear, and these are real tiny, just little gripper teeth right here, and the cable runs down in here and runs between those two, and the tension that it creates going between those two rollers, and there's a V in the middle for the cable, is what grabs onto the cable and gets it going up and down. So now we've got this gear in here right. It's a matter of figuring out the timing and hoping that we can figure out the timing. Now this gear has 1, 2, 3, 4, 8 teeth on it, and they split the 4 outer cogs on that previous piece. And on the back side of this gear, the center lobe is offset. So that should be interesting. And then we do have a mark on here. We did mark it when I took it off, and I marked it the point at this pin right here. So now we're going to start putting it back the way that, you know, we took it off, I hope. So now we got our mark pointing at our pin. This is seated down where it goes. And this guy, he slips over here, and then he captures. This guy slips over here, and then he captures the little pin that we're referencing. All right, now this last piece, also marked, that went towards the pin. And we're going to drop him right down on top of that previous one, the mark towards the pin. there. Okay, so that marks now with the pin as well, right there. And then this guy, these are our fingers that tell the motor when to go and when to stop. And we're gonna lay our mast out here and our motor out here, and we're gonna feed this cable in. I don't know how I can do that. Like this. Okay, we got our cable started. We gotta hold these gears down. Look how fast stuff gets cluttered up around here. This was clean like 10 minutes ago. And we're just gonna go it down with our thumbs all. Okay, the mast is retracting. I'm sorry you can't see it, but now it's going to pull the housing down towards the, come on. Okay, and that goes like that. That might be better for you. All right, so here's where we're at. Got her together. Now it's all about the timings. And we're gonna pull this mast all the way into here first. You guys that do this like a lot are laughing, and I get that, but come on. Oh boy. I want these two to match up. I want this guy to be in there first. Now I want these two to match up. Okay. Now, let's pull, watch down here, pull the mast in here. No. Happened. We're not pulling anymore. I think it might be full. Might have to take some length off of this guy. Double back maybe. There we go. Okay. That's our end. No biggie. We haven't caused any trouble yet, but now that you know, hindsight being what it is, we're going to compare lengths and make sure that the new one is the same length as the old one. Yeah, we measured old cable 43 inches, this new one they sent 59. So we had this much too much in that little tiny cable drum, so luckily it did not cause more of a problem than what it did. It just kind of spun out on itself there. So okay, let's put tape measure away. I cut it about ½ an inch short just because I didn't want that to happen again. Hi Maggie, how are you? Alright, let's set you up. Here's motor, here's cable. These are needle nose pliers, long ones, to compress the tensioner arm and slide the cable in there. Then put the tensioner arm back down. Ooh, here it comes. Okay, Straighten out our work surface here. Give it one little bump. Okay, so now what we should be able to do is, let's put one of these in. Now our mast is going to be bolted to our motor housing. So we got to be really careful not to run this the wrong direction. So I'm going to install this loosely, and now we've got inside. So if you look in here, there's two pads. The inside one is touching, the outside one is not. So if we put power to the inside prong, which is the gray wire, it should do something. Hopefully go out. Okay, that's in. So we've got our cam backwards. Power. So we've got to come around to get to our cam. We're just trying things randomly. Oh boy, you guys. I knew how to explain the magic potion to y'all, and I don't know that we're magical yet, but we're making progress. I ended up taking the cable and the mast off. I didn't want to stress the end of that cable by pushing on it when it's already extended or trying to pull it in when it's already pulled all the way in. So I've just been playing with cams because so there's 2 points of contact for this on this cam. Power to one to get the motor to rotate one way, power to the other one to get the motor to rotate the opposite way. And then once you kickstart that going, the cam underneath here wobbles this cam so that for a certain number of revolutions until it comes back into time, it doesn't shut off. It doesn't shut off for a number of rotations until the timing cycles back to where the cam engages again. And then likewise the other way, it goes a certain number of certain number of revolutions until the cam engages again, because this cam is on a lobe that's making it go like this and making these contacts stay together rather than fall into the cam grooves in it. Here is where we're at right now. Maybe. Okay, it stopped all by itself. Now we're going to switch power. And it stopped all by itself. Switch it back again. And this would be going up with the antenna. Whoops. and it stops. And down with the antenna. Right. I think we might be on to something here. What we're going to do is we're going to run it up again, and then feed our antenna into it, run it back down, feed our antenna into it all the way, and then see if maybe we're on to something. Life lessons. Don't assume that you found a replacement on the internet for a couple $100 when in fact they're 3.5 times that or so. Yeah, and then just scatter pieces. Okay, so here's where we're at. To go in, we need positive to the white. Negative to the green. Okay. So now our mast is in. Okay. The issue now is we're not all the way retracted. Because we didn't have all of our cable in there. So what I think I'm going to try to do here, we're going to screw this mast on one side, and then we're going to squeeze our tensioner and try to, yep, push this the rest of the way in. Here we are. Let's see what happens. To go out, we need positive to green, negative to gray. I think, is that it? That was it. And it shut off, right? Here, let's flip it around. Now that's what we can do. Hang on. Give you guys live action here. Gosh, the bench is just filthy dirty, guys and gals. Okay, can you see? You can see that. Yeah, you can. It's right here. Okay, watch here, and oh, and over here. So watch here and watch here, and let's just see what happens. In. Sun shines on a you-know-what every once in a while. Okay, out. You go over there. I think we got her. Let's run her in. We'll put the cover on. We've got to reseal the coverage here. And golly, we're going to try to throw this thing back in the car today. I mean, we got plenty of day left. I mean, this wasn't impossible. All right, well, this is where we ended up. I had to make notes because I kept getting confusing of myself. So in that 3-wire loom, there's a green wire, a gray wire, and a white wire. The way we got it to work on the bench, to push the antenna out or up, there had to be positive to the green wire and ground to the gray wire. To get the antenna to come in, it had to have positive to the white wire and ground to the green wire. So before we started crawling into the car over here, we got into the car side of that wire harness and we verified that we had the same thing, out, was green positive, gray negative, and in is white positive, green negative. We threw everything in there. Jalen, you want to go cycle the key? And we'll cross our fingers and toes here. Oh. It goes up. It goes down. 45 bucks. Probably 50 shipped here, a little less, versus 700. We'll take that any day. We're gonna end this one off here. Saved us how much, Jay?
650 bucks, pretty much.
Yeah, and the next guy too. That's cost we don't have to pass on. So, thanks for watching. We'll catch you on the next one.